Welcome to my Healthy Aging presentation. I'm Dean Walters. I'm a certified health coach, and I call myself a longevity coach because I help people hopefully live longer and better at the same time. We're going to have a little time at the end of this for Q&A. So if anything you want to know specifically, just hang on till the end. Okay, first thing I want to do though, I want to go through some of the things I found in this senior report. And I'm going to read these from my notes because this stuff I don't want to screw up for you because this is pretty amazing stuff. The current state of senior health in our country. There's been a 4% increase in early death in that age range between 2020 and 2023 related. A lot of it was related to COVID, but still a big increase in early death. A 9% increase in frequent physical distress in adults over 65 between 2020 and 2021. Now, the frequent physical distress that's associated with such chronic conditions as diabetes, hypertension, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and other factors like smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. 4.3 million adults over 65 reported cognitive difficulty in 2021. Now, that can be caused by Alzheimer's, brain injury, stroke, medication side effects, vitamin B12 deficiency, or depression. And the 65 and older population, as that population increases, the number of older adults and their caregivers living with Alzheimer's disease is projected to reach 12.7 million by 2050. 43% increase in drug deaths in adults over 65 between 2019 and 21, largely due to opioids. And older adults are among those most impacted by the opioid crisis because they're often prescribed opioids to help cope with chronic pain or recover from surgery. 13% increase in multiple chronic conditions in adults between 65 and 74 from 2020 to 2021. Now, a chronic condition is something that lasts more than a year and requires ongoing medical attention that can limit daily functions like eating or bathing or just mobility in general. And adults with multiple chronic conditions are one of the highest need segments of our population, since each chronic condition might require additional medication and monitoring. And then the last one, a 6% increase in physical inactivity in adults over 65 that said they were in fair or better health. And that was in a 3-year period from 2018 to 21. Physical inactivity or being sedentary can increase the risk of a lot of negative health outcomes, obviously cardiovascular disease, cancer mortality, type 2 diabetes, and premature death. And around 10% of deaths among adults 40 to 69 and nearly 8% of deaths among adults over 70 can be attributed to physical inactivity. So I know that was really uplifting to see that. So now we're going to come back from that a little bit. So a little bit about my story. I was a performer, opera and musical theater for about 40 years. Also directed choirs and opera company, and that's me right there where that arrow is. And then life happens to us. In 1990, I was diagnosed with chronic asthma and was put on prednisone, which I was on for 20 years. It was the only thing that would keep me out of the emergency room. And I got every side effect that you can get from that. I had osteoporosis, bone loss. I had severe risk of fracture in my hips and lower spine, gained over 140 pounds from it, liver issues. My enzymes were all out of whack. And then when I was 58, I had bilateral quadriceps ruptures from the weakened tendons in my body from this. So we had to rent a hospital bed, put it in our living room. I was in those braces for about 7 weeks. My parents came down from Indiana and spent those 7 weeks with us, helping to take care of me so that my wife, Sandy, could keep on working. And when I was lying in that bed, I made a decision that if I had anything to say about it, I was not going to have to be taken care of when I got older. So I kind of changed the direction of my life. I went back to school, got my certifications as a health coach, and I got 6 different personal training certifications, including the senior fitness, fitness nutrition, and corrective exercise, and did extra training for things like shoulder issues or hip and knee replacement exercises for that, even exercises for people with Parkinson's, and even breast cancer survivors. Now at 72, my asthma is under control. I don't take prednisone anymore. I've had no attacks or hospitalizations in the past, at least 12, 13, 14 years, at least no hospitalizations from the asthma. My bone scans are now absolutely normal. My liver enzymes are back to normal. And after those quad ruptures, after the recovery and everything else from it, I've completed a couple of half marathons and lots of 5Ks and 10K races. So this is a 14-year difference. And you can see how with proper nutrition, with eating better, with activity, resistance exercise, you can change the way things are. So let's talk about your healthy life. I love this picture. If I had known I'd live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Because getting older, folks, is definitely not for sissies. So let's talk for a minute about the leading fears of aging. As far as health goes, losing your independence, that your health is going to decline, fear of falling, that's one of the biggest ones, or just hurting yourself in general, and the inability to manage your own activities of daily living. And on the social side of it, you lose a spouse or other family member, not being able to drive anymore. That's a big one, loss of independence, being isolated or lonely, or worried about strangers caring for you. So some of the age-related diseases, or the diseases that they say are age-related, onset diabetes, but now we're finding kids with diabetes. And 40 years ago, it was only people over 60 as a rule that ever came down with diabetes. Kidney problems, bladder problems, Parkinson's, lung disease, osteoporosis, again, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, dementia, things like glaucoma and cataracts, macular degeneration, enlarged prostate, and depression. Of the 10 leading causes of death, 75% of all deaths in the US are in these 10 categories. Heart disease, number 1. Cancer, accidents, chronic respiratory disease, stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, influenza, pneumonia, kidney disease, and chronic liver disease. The biggest thing about it, though, every one of these can be cured, improved, or prevented by lifestyle changes, which is basically what you put in your mouth and what you do with your body. So, reality check. Do you or someone you know have any difficulty managing their stress? Or do they have hip, shoulder, back, or knee injuries or issues, How about difficulty managing their weight, or stiff joints, or mobility issues, or just want to improve the quality of the sleep, have blood pressure or cholesterol issues, or they just want to feel better? If so, then it's time to take back control of your health. Now, we know that a lot of people have to take medications as they get older. We happen to think that there's probably overprescribed meds, but I love this little thing here about the medications, because I take metformin for the diabetes caused by the hydrochlorothiazide. I take for high blood pressure, which I got for the Ambien. I take for insomnia caused by the Xanax. I take for anxiety that I got from the Wellbutrin. I take for chronic fatigue, which I got from the Lipitor. I take because I have high cholesterol, because a healthy diet and exercise are just too much trouble. So a little bit about what's going in your body. Every bite of food that you take is either fighting disease or it's feeding it. Some of you may have heard of the Dirty Dozen. So let's talk about that for just a second. And the source of this was the Environmental Working Group. If you've never heard of them, check them out online. Pretty amazing. So, as you're trying to eat healthier, a lot of people are trying to buy organic foods, but they are more expensive. So if you're going to buy organic, these are the foods that you should focus on to make sure they're organic. This Dirty Dozen food list, these 12 foods are the ones that have the most exposure to pesticides and other contaminants. And then we have the Clean 15. So these 15 foods have the least exposure to contaminants and pesticides. So if you can't get all your food organic, shoot for the Dirty Dozen food list and don't worry so much about the Clean 15 food list. Healthy eating, let's talk about that for a second. There's only 5 things that you have to worry about when you're eating. Are you getting protein, carbs, fats, water, and supplements for the nutritional gaps? What are the health benefits of protein, especially for older adults? Protein is the only thing that builds your cells. So you need it for cell and tissue regeneration. It's better for your muscular health. It helps your bone health, your immune system, your nervous system, helps balance hormones, better hair and skin, and improve digestion and absorption. Healthy carbs. Carbs are good for you. So don't worry about, oh, but can't have enough carbs. No, no, no. Good carbs are good for you. Bad carbs are not good for you. Carbs are mood regulators. They've got fiber in it, which helps you feel fuller, can help reduce cholesterol and improve your digestion. It's a great, well, good carbs are good for your heart health. Bad carbs are bad for your heart health. Improve brain function, helps reduce your cancer risk because of all the antioxidants, helps improve your sleep, your metabolism, and helps increase your energy. Now, what about fats? Everybody thinks, oh, I got to have a low fat diet. Well, healthy fats are really, really important. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. So if somebody calls me a fathead, I thank them. I appreciate it. So it also helps transport your fat soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K. It helps boost your immune system. Healthy fats keeps your skin healthy. Again, helps you feel full. It's very important for your heart health and for joint pain and for ADHD and can help control inflammation. This is cute. You're fat, but you're good fat. Healthy benefits of water. Nobody or very few drink enough water. Water helps maintain your body fluids. Our body's nearly 60% water, helps transport nutrients through our system, helps maintain our body temperature, does help control calories and weight management. It helps energize our muscles because it transports electrolytes. It helps keep your skin hydrated. So we all want fewer wrinkles, right? Helps your kidney health. It helps remove toxins from the body. Helps maintain normal bowel function, so it's good for your colon health. And if you're thirsty, you are already dehydrated. So the last part is whole food supplements to fill in those nutritional gaps. I've been exposed to a lot of different companies over the years, and I have chosen one company to be with. Been with them 26, going on almost 27 years now, because they're the #1 natural nutrition company in North America, and they are the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. And this is why, because most people, when they go out and they buy their vitamins, they go to a drugstore or Walmart or wherever there happens to be a BOGO. And the problem is those vitamins are practically all totally synthetic, man-made with imbalanced formulas. There's all kind of binders and shellac coatings, and that's why a lot of people have stomach issues when they take their vitamins. And their stomach gets all upset. It's because of the shellac coating or the petroleum coatings that's on them. There's no live enzymes in them. Lots of artificial this, that, flavors, sweeteners, colors, etc. Then some people go to the natural food store. This is a little better, but natural might only mean a 10% amount of something natural in it, because the regulations vary from state to state. They still will contain binders and fillers. They use a chemical or heat extraction process, which destroys a lot of the enzymes. Most are very balanced. They skimp on things like biotin because it's very expensive, and they do mega doses of the inexpensive B vitamins. Again, a lot of them are coated with shellac, so they're kind of partial food. Our company is pharmaceutical grade whole food supplements, live enzymes, gluten-free, no chemical or heat processing, the highest quality raw materials, absolutely guaranteed purity. It feeds and improves your cells, and it's clinically proven. It's basically food and is 100% guaranteed. You either feel better or you're going to get your money back. So I want to talk for a minute about my osteoporosis journey. Again, from the steroids, I had severe risk of fracture. You can see my bone scan here in 2001, severe risk for in my hips and lower spine. So I started upping my supplements. I started doing more resistance exercise, started watching my food intake a little. By 2004, you can see the fracture risk is now moderate. By 2008, my fracture risk was low or normal, and it's been that way ever since. Now, I take everything our company makes except Menopause Balance Complex. And if I thought it would help me, I would take it too. But these, of everything that I take, these are the products that I felt were the most responsible and helpful for me regaining that muscle mass. The Vitalizer is our daily strip that has over 80 nutrients in it. Of course, our protein shakes, the joint complex, our osteomatrix, which really does help rebuild bone mass, and the Omega Guard, which is pharmaceutical grade fish oil. Our products, this I wanted to remind you of, though, our products do not cure anything, nor do they purport to cure anything, but they give your body what it needs to help build itself back. This product, Vivix, this is for another talk sometime. But when I started taking this product in 6 months, I was finally able to get off the prednisone, which I've been on for 20 years. So we talked about nutrition and food. Now we're going to talk about activity. You got to move it or you will lose it. And there's basically 4 areas: your aerobic training, resistance, flexibility, and balance training. Now, why is exercise so important for older adults? Well, obviously, it helps you maintain your bones, muscles, and joints. It can help control joint swelling and pain associated with arthritis. The biggest one for me is it can help reduce the risk of falling. It also reduces the risk of dying from a heart attack. That's a pretty good risk to avoid, or developing high blood pressure or colon cancer or diabetes. It can help reduce your blood pressure, and it can help improve your stamina and your muscle strength. It reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, which is very important as we get older, and can help improve your sleep. So you are your own artist. You can craft your body as you want to. So let's talk for just 1 second about exercise versus food. Love me some Oreos, especially dunk them in milk. But those 2 Oreos, 140 calories, it takes about 60 seconds to pop them down. So if I want to get rid of those 140 calories, I got to jump on the treadmill for 40 minutes to burn them off. The point of all that is you cannot outrun your fork. So exercise is important for your fitness, but your calorie intake is most important for weight management. Now let's talk for a second about weight and your joint health. Every pound that you lose reduces 4 pounds of pressure from your knees for every step you take. So you lose a pound, it reduces 4 pounds of pressure on that knee, on your knees. So if you do your 10,000 steps a day, that's 40,000 pounds of pressure off your knees that day for every pound you lose. In a week, in a year, 7,280 tons of pressure off your knees for every pound you lose. So the 60 pounds that I've lost, let's see what that does. 436,800 tons of pressure off my knees. That is significant. Okay, let's talk for a second about the leading fears of getting older. We talked about the health fears. We talked about the social fears. What about the financial fears? Like not being able to live at home anymore or running out of money. That's a big one. So I'm just going to mention briefly that besides the 26 years of taking products for this, I've also been involved with the business side of our company. And the reason that I think this is important for older adults to think about, you can see the financial advantages here, but especially these last 2. Having more income in your retirement years and being able to leave a legacy for your kids or your grandkids. That is basically, in a nutshell, how to be healthier as you age. Get your exercise, drink your water, get your protein, get your healthy carbs, get your healthy fats, get your head together. And if you're not sure what to do, get a hold of me or get a hold of the person that invited you to watch this Zoominar tonight and chat with them, and they can help you.